Hello and welcome to Gallus' first digital event of this year, here directly from our print media center in St. Gallen, Switzerland. My name is Frank Schaum, I'm head of the Gallus Group and I'm very delighted to welcome so many of you online to the first Gallus High Performance Day. I'm pleased to invite you to join us now at this first Gallus event of the year. We all have an unusual time behind us, and since it's difficult to meet in person, we'd like to give you a virtual presentation today on how you can improve your company's business. On the one hand, in digital printing with the Gallus Label Fire, we will demonstrate digital embellishment techniques and low migration printing on industrial scale. On the other hand, you will learn more about the benefits of our conventional printing systems with the Gallus Label Master and the Gallus RCS. Both presses are equipped with features for embellishment at its best. All in all, I'm delighted that after a long period of absence due to the pandemic, we are able to present a part of our current high performance program to you at today's event. Together with my team here in St. Gallen and in Germany, we are delighted and highly motivated to support you in shaping your future successfully. But now I do not want to keep you in suspense any longer, and I wish you an exciting time with Gallus and hand over to our moderator Florian Kern, who will guide you through today's program.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm also pleased to give you a warm welcome on behalf of Gallus. As you have just learned, my name is Florian and I will guide you through today's program. You have decided for session A, where we present our Gallus Label Fire digital press. We will show you the advantages of digital label printing on the Gallus Label Fire in combination with the digital embellishment unit. This unit allows digital varnishing in different finishing modes. We will also show you how to use Label Fire for printing low migration labels in the food and pharmaceutical sector while complying with statutory regulations. Following this presentation, we offer you to participate in one of our 3 breakout sessions. In session 1, I will talk to Martin Leonhard. He will explain what low migration and GMP are all about. In session 2, I talk to Oliver Vetter. He's the head of the Screeny business unit. He will answer the question why screen printing is still a viable and indispensable printing process in the narrow and mid-web segment. And in the 3rd session, Vladimir Tilupin from Avery Dennison will show us which substrates are particularly suitable for UV inkjet printing and what needs to be considered. Now, before we start, I'd like to introduce you to some technical features of this platform. As a standard, you see me in the streaming window. I recommend to enlarge this window to full size by clicking the icon at the menu bar at the bottom. There you can also find the speaker icon where you can start the sound or mute it again. On the platform, there is also the opportunity to ask questions. And please do so. On the right-hand side, there is a text box where you can ask your questions directly to our specialists. They will be answered individually and not be shared or showed to other participants of these sessions. After the session, you may choose one of the breakout sessions by clicking into the boxes. Yes, and now we are ready to start with the demonstration. I hand over to Thomas Schweitzer. He's next to the Label Fire in our print media center.
Hello world! We are now here in our print media center in St. Gallen. A warm welcome from my side. I'm Thomas Schweitzer, the head of the product management on Gallus. I'm today here with Paolo Pasquale. He is the operator of the press. I will now explain you the Label Fire, our digital solution for production of labels. We see here a hybrid press. A hybrid press means we have the best combination of conventional and also digital functionalities. This press is capable in different configurations. We have first a conventional solution in the front of the core with the digital part. Good. We have now here the digital print unit. Paolo, could you please open it that we can look a little bit more in detail? Thank you very much. We see here the heart of the DPU, digital print unit. We have at the end of the functionality CMYK, so the main colors of the press. This press here is also equipped with a gamut extender. Gamut extender means we have 3 functionalities more in this press to extend the gamut as maximum as we can. This is more than 90% of the whole gamut of the Pantone Plus color. So that means you have really all capabilities to print your labels with the best colors you ever saw. We have in front of that the white as a fundament solution, so we can print also on clear materials. Very nice white solids to have at the end the colors shiny on top. A very unique function of this machine is we have after every single color a pinning module. With this pinning module we are able to give all the images we print a nice sharpness and also a very nice quality for the intercolor bleeding. When we do not have a pinning, now my colleague Uwe Alexander will explain you the functionality of the pinning a little bit more in detail.
Thank you, Thomas. A short introduction. My name is Uwe Alexander and I'm part of the product management team. Let's talk about pinning and let's see where is it placed. On the image, on the lower right corner, uses a pinning module. That one here. This is the area where the light comes out. Here is a pinning module mounted, straight after the print bar. Substrate is from left to right, the web direction. This construction here is several times in the machine, here and here and here and here and here and here and so on. Each print bar has its own and private pinning module. We have prepared a small animation for you about the pinning. Of course, we have a substrate. Web direction is from left to right. We have a cyan print bar, followed by a pinning module for cyan. And this is followed by a magenta print bar and the pinning module for magenta. To understand the power of pinning, I would like to show you this effect without a pinning first. The cyan drop is jetted out of the nozzle. After hitting the substrate, the drop will spread on the substrate. The drop will move on to the next print bar where a magenta drop is jetted. Both drops touches each other, so they mix up. This effect is called intercolor bleeding. This intercolor bleeding you will recognize as an unsharpness. In an ordinary image you will not see it. You will see this effect in technical halftones and especially on small lineworks elements like fonts and thin lines, and especially on Asian fonts. If the elements are built out of more than 2 colors, this effect will be more visual and more stronger. It's quite easy to reduce or even eliminate this intercolor bleeding. We simply switch on the lights, the pinning lights. You know already the cyan and the magenta print bar. Each one is followed by a pinning lamp and now we switch them on. Again, the cyan drop is jetted out of the nozzle. Our drop lays down on the substrate and will be carried to the next print bar. but now it passes the pinning lamp and receives UV light. In visual words, the drop gets a little skin. Now the magenta drops touches the cyan drop. Both drops get some lights from the magenta pinning lamp. Also, the magenta drop will be cured and gets a little skin. Each drop stays for its own and you do not have such a massive intercolor bleeding. Your benefits are you will be able to produce best-in-class print quality, especially when it comes to small elements like small fonts and tiny logos. This reduces also the pre-press workload. This was a short overview about pinning, and now back to Thomas.
So, thank you Uwe for this very detailed explanation. But our DPU have much more unique functions who we can show you now. Paolo, could you now open it? Thank you very much. We have here, direct after the print, located our vision system, our own developed vision system. This vision system have 3 LEDs that we have on all colors and all substrate the best lights of detection that we can compensate some artifacts who the DPU sometimes could produce. So just what you can see, you can compensate. But how this really work will now Uwe also explain you a bit more in detail.
Thank you, Thomas. Hopefully you have something to drink next to you. The next topic might be a little bit dry, but we will visualize it in a proper way and show what happens in the black box. Let's assume we live in a perfect world. All the printheads that are used for the print bar are working in a proper way. There are also the substrate with a dedicated substrate width. The drops will be jetted on the substrate and lays down. After hitting the substrate, a very uniform print result is achieved. As you all know, the perfect world is a wish. The reality is different. A printhead is built out of 2048 nozzles. Due to production environment and lifetime, some nozzles will not work correctly. In the real world, there are missing nozzles. Here is one missing. There might be also nozzles that are not working in the right direction. That one here. Nozzles where you cannot rely on needs to be identified and compensated to avoid any irregularities. This will become visible as a white line that are areas where no drop was jetted. In case the drop was not jetted to the right position, a dark line will occur. Compensation is done in 2 steps. First is detection, the second one is compensation. First you have to recognize the actual situation before you can calculate it. You need an accurate and fast camera system and you need a computer with a dedicated algorithm. We still do not have the perfect world, but now we have the right tools, so we are able to handle the situation now. Again, the drops will be jetted like before. There is still a white line and a dark line. We take a picture about the actual situation. As you can see, this image is for one color and includes the whole print width. An algorithm is calculating the missing nozzle compensation. This process is a standardized wizard and fully independent from the operator and the operator skills. Once more, the drops will be jetted. Now we have the compensation active. Some neighbor nozzles here and here are compensating the deactivated nozzles, that one and that one, by jetting additional drops. This and this, the drops merge together to a bigger drop and hits the substrate as a bigger drop and lays down on the substrate. The result is a perfectly compensated printout. If you print only images, the power of compensation will not be very visible. But when you print solid, especially brand colors and solid backgrounds or any kind of text, you will see definitely the difference of this technology. So we come closer to a perfect world. In addition to the missing nozzle compensation, I would like to show you the benefits of the density unevenness compensation. Imagine the jetted ink volume is not always the same. It can be different from printhead to printhead. It can also vary inside one printhead. There are different reasons like variation in production, different age of the single printheads, different usage of the single printheads. These irregularities will be also compensated by the detection and compensation routine. Why is it so important to adjust the density? It's important for constant print quality over the complete lifetime. There is more than one printhead in the machine. In a 7-color and white label file, there are 64 printheads installed. The day will come where a printhead needs to be exchanged. Over the lifetime of the machine, more printheads needs to be exchanged. Sure, it will happen that a replaced printhead is next to the printhead that is several years in use already. This needs to be managed, and it will be managed and controlled by the density unevenness compensation. This enables you to serve your customer with constant print quality. So we come closer to a perfect world, at least in the inkjet. This was a lot of theory, but now we know what happens inside the black box. Let's get back to the machine. Thomas, Polo, it's your turn now.
So, and one more unique feature of our hybrid press is the HMI. We are able, or our operator is able, to control the whole machine from one single point. So we can control the whole DPU functionality. We can control the whole job managing on the press from the conventional and the digital part. And what we saw, the whole vision system is also here fully controlled and visible on this HMI. The register control and cross and lateral register is fully automated, controlled by this HMI. We have now a short simulation how this will work on the control in progress.
This is our HMI, the operator panel. The HMI view shows what the camera sees inside the DPU. You know this camera already from the missing nozzle compensation. The red area is the whole image from the camera. You can define a dedicated area that you want to focus on. Here the green box. That area will be enlarged and shown here. I am sure you have already noticed the register error. To get in the register, it's only pushing a button. I have a short movie to demonstrate it. Now we are in register again. Okay, this was too fast. Let me show what happened. Again, the register error. I start the video. Here we stop, as this is the essential point. We print these dots here. These dots will be captured by the camera and the register will be adjusted automatically. We move on. We are in register again. Let me give you some facts. It takes only a few seconds to set the register. Register deviation inside the DPU is less than 40 microns. Register is controlled over the complete web width, very important for some applications. Register is not depending on the skills or willingness of the operator. Let's jump back to Thomas.
This ease of use, what we have generated with this single point of operate, is just one of the major points of the economic use of an industrial digital press. We have made, with a lot of experience with our other customers together, a very detailed total cost of ownership calculation. With this we are able to really show you at the end of the end product what really are the costs who have all an impact to, at the end, your success in out of the market. Uwe will now explain you a little bit more in detail how exactly this TCO will work. One point, we are all the time open for the chat room to give you some answers when you have detailed or more questions about the whole machine or about all but our products we have.
Yes, Thomas. Technology is one side of the coin. Let's take a look at the other side of the coin and do some number crunching. Our goal is not to offer the cheapest press. Our mission is to offer you a production method with the most attractive production costs. So beside equipment, service and ink costs, we also consider the running costs, like setup time, waste, manpower, availability, and OEE, overall equipment effectiveness. So we will go for a total cost of ownership calculation. This is our example for the TCO calculation, a colorful design with CMYK and 3 spot colors. Substrate is a PE clear for a non-label look, so there's also a need for white underlay. The black area indicates the white underlay. This chart shows the production cost per 1000 labels in relation to the order quantity. Run length is from 2000 labels until 225,000 labels. This means from 64 up to 7000 linear meters. On the x-axis, it indicates the running length in linear meters. On the y-axis, we see the cost per 1000 labels based on the running length of this job. The first curve shows the conventional flexo press. The second curve is a semi-rotary toner-based digital press in combination with a converting unit to compare apples with apples. Break-even point here is about 1000 linear meters. That's about 33,000 labels. The blue line represents a Gallus label fire. We offer constantly lower production costs compared to the digital electrophotography. Break-even point compared with flexo is now 2,800 linear meters. That's about 90,000 labels. The red line represents the Gallus label fire, but in a hybrid mode. The machine configuration is exactly the same. Anyhow, the white underlay will be printed now in flexo. All other colors will be still printed digital. Reason for this is you need a significant ink volume for the white underlay. So it's a kind of cherry picking. You pick the best from the conventional side and the best from the digital side. Break-even point now is shifted to more than 7,000 linear meters. That's about 225,000 labels. Let's take a look at the investment costs and how they influence the TCO calculation. First curve is a calculation with a well-equipped label fire. Let's call it an average configuration. This dotted line is a very well-equipped label fire, and this dashed line is a label fire less than the average configuration. Yes, the investment costs have some influence on the production costs. The red line is the same label fire as the blue line. Investment costs are equal, exactly the same. The difference here is the production method. It's hybrid. Remember, the white underlay will now be printed in flexo. Again, the dotted line is a very well-equipped label fire, same as the blue dotted one. And again, that dashed line is a label fire equipped less than the average, the same one as the blue dashed line. Also here you see a price difference between the upper and the lower red line. The great discovery of this TCO calculation is it's more important how you produce the labels instead of the investment costs. The investment costs have minor influence on the production costs. Now it's time to have hands-on. Thomas, Paulo?
So, let us now look a little bit more in detail of all the other functionalities who are available on our Gallus label fire. We start now here in the unwind section. We have here an unwind module who is capable to load 40-inch bobbins or approximately 1 meter in the diameter. We have then a web edge control system with an integrated splice module. After that, with the dancer system, we have the tension always under control directly in front of the infeed unit. This small sensoric, what you see here, is the splice detector. So if we detect the splice at the beginning of the press, our digital engine will go in safe position that we never have some accidents in the DPU. After that, we have a cleaning system. This cleaning system is for both sides to get out the dust in the press. After that, with our web tension controls, we have also the web tension always ready for the rest of our printing engine. Direct below, we see here the corona treatment to control the surface energy of our materials, that we have a defined spreading of the drops who we apply then with our inkjet engine. Here we see then the primering or the conventional pre-stuff in the front end of the DPU. Here we have the capability to have flexo stations or also screen stations when you need really high opaque white solids in front of our engine. We have the secondary section who we have different capabilities with cold foil, what you see here, or also lamination or other stuffs who we need in front of the DPU. Below, we have also the capability to mount functionalities. We have here a web turning bar or a DLAM ReLAM station. The full range of conventional functions are available in our hybrid solution. Again, directly in front of the DPU, we have an additional web thickness controller. This web thickness controller goes over the whole web width and control every thickness of the web who goes in the DPU. Again, a protection system. And after that, we have our DPU, Eva has already explained, with the 1200 dpi Fuji Dynamics technology inside. Direct after that, we have an additional corona treatment unit to make also the surface tension of our inkjet inks exactly with the right energy, that we have it ready for the conventional part for direct overprinting or over varnishing with spot or full flat. After this flexo station, we have an additional digital module. This digital module is named DEU, Digital Embellishment Unit. It was a co-development with Steinemann. They are also located here directly in Senegal. This module is equipped with 600 dpi RICO technology. With this module, we are capable to make different applications. We can do spot varnishings, gloss and matte, and can also do metallic effects like cold foil flat or three-dimensional metallic effects. It looks then like an embossing. Direct after that, we have again a flexo station who can project with varnish the cold foil, or you can imprint a spot color if you need it. Here we then have our die cutter, and it's not a normal die cutter, it's a semi-rotative system. So we can change the repetition length without changing the magnetic cylinder inside. You have just to insert the sheets of the die cutting and can then produce directly. Of course, after that we have our matrix rewinder to strip the label, that you then have at the end a nice and ready label after the production. Below our outfeed tension control, we have the web vision system that our operator, Paolo, always have the full at the end production under control. Direct after that, we have the slitting device in two options. The easy one with the razor bladers, or the Chidland for longer productions. This nice area here is our inspection desk. Here we can set out some samples for our fully automated substrate qualification, or just to look to the finished label. Below that we have the twin rewinder, who is capable also, when you have slitted, to rewind the bobbins nice and smooth. But the machine is not just metal and stone and electricity inside. It's also a lot of software. And this software is one of the major benefits of this whole press. The whole digital front end with the workflow controls at the end the whole press, not just the digital, also the conventional part. Uwe will now explain you a little bit more in detail how our solution for the front end will work.
Thanks again, Thomas. Like any other printing machine, Labelfire comes with a machine software package. On top of this, we also provide you a pre-connect DFEL, so digital front-end label. You will receive a complete software package that enables you to print high-quality labels. What is included? You will get a job management system, data check plugin, I call it the PDF washing machine. You also will be able to perform step and repeat by your own. Essential part is the color management. We use the Heidelberg solution that is used also by FOCA and the ISO committee to generate the official ISO profiles. Second essential part is a RIP. We have developed a dedicated screen type that was designed for the UV inkjet. On the HMI, the operator managed typical press operator tasks like machine setting, job queue control, and so on. All this information are centralized at the Prenect workflow server. From our point of view, a client-server philosophy is a must-have to operate a digital press in an efficient way. Sure, all these tasks can be done by the press operator. However, the press operator needs to focus on printing. This means an ink calculation, data check, step and repeat can be done also by the pre-press department or the customer service. This will have significant impact on the press output. Labelfire offers also the option for variable data printing. Customer has an idea, as an example, a product with individual labels. Each label is a different one in color and in text. The customer sends a PDF that contains all individual labels. This file will be automatically checked for printability. The step and repeat is done automatically. The job is one PDF with several pages. This could be even thousands of pages. This job will be sent to Labelfire and printing up to 70 meters a minute without interruption at full resolution and full color gamut. The printed reel is sent to the customer. Customer is happy with the print result and the promotion is a success. Let's summarize. 100% unique labels, each one is individual, and the whole process can be automated from the job receiving till printing. Another example, this image shows individual labels, each one is unique and customized. What makes this label so unique? In the web shop you can configure or mix your personal smoothie as you wish with your personal label. Barcode depends on the percentage of the ingredients. The colors are linked to the dedicated fruits. The QR code for identification, for example, the job number from the web shop. And the content of the nutrition table is adjusted according to the ingredients that are chosen by the customer. So the web shops, the client creates their own recipe. Based on that one, a label will be generated. Another client places also an order in the web shop and creates his own mixture. Both are not aware about each other. And there are many more clients and people placing orders in the web shop, and each one creates a personal mixture with a personal label. All those labels will be gathered and printed on the Labelfire in full resolution, full color gamut, and up to 70 meters a minute. Now it's time to see the machine running, and I give back to Thomas and Paolo.
So we have now set up a nice job in the press who show all the functionalities who are possible with the press. We have here this wine label actually set up. First, we have a 7-color full apply of the DPU. Over that, we go with this flexo station, full flat matte varnish on top. Then, you see it here, these gold effects are 3-dimensional and applied with the digital embellishment unit. After that, of course, we have the die cutting solution in use with the matrix stripping. Good, now we are ready. Paolo, please let run the press. And now the machine is running. And we have the machine in different capabilities of configurations. We have here now the machine equipped with our inkjet UV02. We have the same machine also available with low migration. And this is very unique. 1200 dpi inkjet, fully low migration. But that we will show a little bit more in detail in the breakout session, low migration. Also, the configuration of the whole press we will have in future in more modularity. We will have a campaign, it's named Diamond Core series. The Diamond Core shows you that we have in future also just the digital part without conventional part available. So you have the full flexibility how your print shop is equipped. You can use a hybrid machine or just our digital engine for production. But the full range of products is also important that it's good maintained. For that we have a special individual possible configurable module in services in different levels. And this will now Uwe explain you a little bit more in detail.
Thank you, Thomas. With our 3 service levels, we serve these different needs. The basic service level is called Silver. This covers the minimum needs like help desk support. This includes also 2 visits per year for preventive maintenance. Next level is called Gold. All parts for preventive maintenance and spare parts are included. Platinum is the highest service level. This includes also the labor work. With our feature coverage, the yellow bar, you have the possibility to assure dedicated services. It's quite common to have this for the print heads. For any digital machine, a service contract is mandatory. Customers have different needs. On the one hand side, there are clients who do not want to make big commitments here. On the other hand, there are clients with a need for maximum security and service to support a 24/7 production. Let's now listen to the customer experience.
Herzlich willkommen bei der Firma Birkhäuser und GBC in Rheinach. Wir sind ein Unternehmen der Schelling AG. Mein Name ist Tobias Gollimund und ich bin stellvertretender Produktionsleiter hier am Standort. Wir konnten trotz Corona Ende 2020 unsere zweite Labelfire in Betrieb nehmen. Die Labelfire bringt uns die Vorteile nicht nur durch schnellere Rüstzeiten, sondern wir können Inline Kaltfolien prägen, wir können stanzen, wir können einen Primer aufbringen, wir können im Flexodruckwerk drucken. All diese Möglichkeiten sehen wir als großen Vorteil. Ein weiterer Vorteil der Maschine ist natürlich die Low Migration Farbe. Durch das konnten wir unser Portfolio enorm erweitern. Durch immer kleiner werdende Losgrößen in unserer Branche konnten wir uns bei der ersten Labelfire schon von kurzen Rüstzeiten und einer prozessstabilen Druckmaschine überzeugen lassen. Wir hatten mit der Firma Gallus immer einen nahen und zuverlässigen Partner an unserer Seite. Für uns war die Investition in eine zweite Labelfire die perfekte Ergänzung in unserer Etikettenproduktion. Wir sind froh, dass wir auch bei der zweiten Maschine von Anfang an dabei sein konnten und somit die Entwicklung maßgebend mitgestalten durften. Wir freuen uns natürlich auch zukünftig über eine gute und partnerschaftliche Zusammenarbeit mit der Firma Gallus.
Thank you, and back to Thomas.
Thank you, Uwe, for explaining us the whole range of setup who we have available in our service concept. Let us now summarize what we saw the last few minutes. A fully hybrid digital solution for your industrial production, who we have also available in future with just digital. These all equipped with 1200 dpi resolution. This with the best image quality in combination with an economical system for your success in the industry. All these solutions you saw are out of one hand. The software, the equipment, the technology of the inkjet, the electronics, and also the software in the front end, the ink development, all is out of one hand. You have one partner for your digital future and success. Thank you very much for your attention, and have a good day.
Thank you very much for this interesting presentation. We have received several questions, so let me ask you. Regarding the ESCO workflow, can I use this one?
That's a very good question. Of course, you can also use your existing workflow with ESCO. Prenect is more like an extension. It's at the end really the digital front end directly on the press. It's for the whole substrate qualification and at the end for the ripping process.
What about the print heads? Can every print head be replaced separately? Or is there some kind of cluster and I need to exchange the whole print bar?
This is very unique in our press. We can every print head exchange separately. With our own developed vision system, we have also the adjustment again fully automated and so in a very, very reproducing quality.
And are there any limitations in configurations of the press?
We have our base configurations. So normally we have in front of the DPU 2 flexor stations, and after the DPU normally we have 3 flexor stations. This is the normal maximum range. But we have a lot of special functionalities also available. We can generate with customized special solutions also a lot of other configurations exactly for you. And with the diamond core we have in future also just the GPU as a print engine available.
Digital embellishment unit. What is the maximum pile height and does it influence the speed?
Yes, we have a sweet spot on 50 meter per minute with 24 micron thickness who we can apply. If you go faster, it's possible, but then the thickness go down. But you can also go the other direction, print slower, and then you can go higher with the thickness. The limitation are 100 micron at the maximum on approximately 10-12 meter per minute who can apply it with the DEU.
Thank you very much. And now it's time to move on to the breakout sessions. This can be made by closing the full screen and clicking one of the boxes leading directly to the breakout session.